What is going on, Lakers fam? This is your boy Jay Lake, bringing you Lakers all day, all the time. And I want to thank our guests, Big Al and Mario, for coming on.
Hey
Thank you,
Jeff,
Jay
thanks for having
Lakes.
me.
So last night, pivotal win for our Lakers. We brought the heat and we set the tone right off the bat. And usually our Lakers, we usually have a slow start, and that kind of bugs me. And then it takes us a while to kind of get going. But this time, right off the gate. The Lakers dominated from the get go. We didn't let off the gas until like fourth quarter when Jaw went off, but that was too little, too late by that time.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, they came out with energy. They, from the get go, they were forcing Memphis to some bad shots, some turnovers. The defense was great. The Lakers just really came out swinging. I think uh, a lot of players just played well.
Oh yeah, I mean the Lakers came out the way they're expected to come out every game, right? With the talent on that team, what they can do, the Lakers were showed out. But to be honest, I think LeBron set the tone, right? Right from the beginning, the first quarter. Um, you know, he had quick 4 points. I mean, he was just ready to go, flying on all cylinders. He set the tone, and other guys followed and kind of played out throughout the game.
Right. It was pretty funny too. Before the game, every time Brooks tried to shoot balls when he was in practice, the Lakers fans kept booing him. And then every time he was guarding LeBron James, it's like Lakers fans let him hear it.
Yeah, for sure. Brooks, I think that's what helped the Lakers with the energy to during the game because the fans brought the energy. I think the players felt the energy. They knew that we haven't had a full capacity crowd since 2013 in the playoffs, so everybody was energized to do well tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean the fans were all there. The stars came out, and it looked like the pressure was felt by the Grizzlies. They came out slow, couldn't hit a shot. The crowd was into it, and I love how they were just booing. Brooks every time he shot the ball. It was awesome. It was fun to watch, even though we weren't at the game. You could definitely sense that energy, watching it on the TV. So it was amazing.
Yeah, so Brooks on the night, he went 23 minutes, 12 points, one board, and three assists. It wasn't until basically that Brooks got ejected in that third quarter. He poked the little bear, not the big bear.
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, he definitely did that intentionally. I don't know if you agree or not, Mario, but he definitely did that intentionally. That arm was definitely aiming somewhere other than the game ball.
Yeah, it was definitely intentional, right? I mean, it definitely intended to do that. You see it at first, game pace, you weren't sure, could have been an accident, maybe going for the ball. Replay, intentional for sure. I'm glad the refs, reviewed it. They made the right call. They ejected him out. There's no excuse for that. Get him out of there. And I think a large part has to do with LeBron coming out so strong. The fans get under his skin. It seemed like all this stuff, and he was just trying to slow down LeBron, and that was just it wasn't right. It wasn't the right move on him, and it was very unsportsmanlike to do something like that. Everyone knows the pain you feel when you get hit in the family jewels. So I'm glad he got ejected. I hope he doesn't do that again. But now we know it's pretty easy to get under his skin, right? So
Yeah,
maybe game four, keep booing him some more.
for sure. He was an agitator, and I think the refs knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to agitate and then like just get under everybody's skin, and thankfully he got kicked out as he should.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it might have been a little acting on LeBron's part too, but I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
I
see.
know.
don't know.
You get a little
You get
touch,
you
you're
get a tap
down.
there, yeah. A little,
Yeah, a little tap.
you've been in junior high or high
Yeah,
school,
I
and somebody
mean,
just
He
taps
did
you
have a
there, you
couple
go
on.
down.
you can get, yeah, you go down. Like I said, these guys, they're professional athletes.
Yeah,
They hit pretty hard no matter what.
yeah.
So, like I said, he did it on purpose. It was obvious.
Hmm.
Obviously he was agitated at the game, and like I said, that's not how you do it. That's not what we're taught to do. So I'm glad he got ejected right then and there. So
Well,
I don't see no acting. I don't
Glad
see it.
and not glad. Glad that he was ejected for doing that, but
Mm.
unglad for the game because he was trash. He was trash. He couldn't hit shots. He did hit like one or two towards the end. I think it was like a heave from just to avoid the shot clock violation, but he was trash during the game. And every time LeBron was, when he was guarding LeBron, LeBron just scored on him. So um, a little bit unfortunate, but he deserved to get kicked out for sure.
Think LeBron made a statement there?
The
No
statement.
statement.
Think he made it? Think he made a statement?
No statement is a statement. That's what he said.
Exactly, huh?
Yeah,
At his age, being the GOAT, it's like he doesn't have to make. He's above the point where he needs to make a statement.
for sure. I think
I
Brooks was trying to get him to go away from the game plan, maybe try just go and try to score on him. But LeBron's he knows what's going on. He's
yeah,
been through this before.
he's been in the league for 20 years.
Hmm.
How many championships has LeBron played in? How many playoff games he's played in? He knows. He knows how to handle himself. He knows what he has to do. He played. His actions are through his play, right? So, and obviously he played well today.
I think
But
Brooks was to thank also because for our end of the first quarter, we are 35-9, and that's the largest lead for the Lakers in playoff history. So, I mean, without Brooks, that I don't think that would have happened because he bricked a lot throughout that whole game.
Yeah, not just him. A lot of guys. I don't know what it was, but hopefully the fans can jeer the rest of the team, and we have continued success. They should boo every player that touches the ball, if that's the case.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
because let's be real, they're annoying. The Grizzlies, they're
Yeah.
annoying. So I'm glad the fans were there. They had Ellie's back.
Mhm.
We just saying it was literally a fun game to be at. I wish I was there.
Yeah, definitely. If we punched in the mouth that first game, this time we pretty much knocked them out this game because Lakers were locked in on both sides. We didn't let them score at all. We blitzed them straight up from the beginning, and that was awesome because that first quarter, LBJ and D'Lo both had 8 points. Rui had 7 points, and AR had 4 points. So it was a pretty balanced scoring from the Lakers in that first quarter. And even during that second quarter, I felt like that probably broke some kind of record too, because during that second quarter, with 9 minutes left, we were 35 at. Oh wait, no, so 35-9 was the end of the first quarter, but the second quarter, we were up by quite a mile. Oh, so 9 minutes left, 42-13. So that's pretty insane for any NBA team.
Yeah, it was a big margin of that we were able to build up. Thankfully, we were able to build up a margin because they did make a run later.
Yeah, they did. It was expected them to make a run sooner or later, but luckily it was later rather than sooner. It's a mixture of them shooting poorly. I think they weren't ready for the LA energy. Away from their home crowd. They're now LA crowd's different, and the defense was there, right? It's uh, it's kind of awesome to see the Lakers offense and defense playing so well at the same time. Let's say they're all going all cylinders, So it shows just how the potential Lakers, how they can operate in a game and how they can dominate a game. You know.
Right. So after that 42-13, Grizz did go on a run, but I felt like Darvin Ham did let up a little bit. He kind of gave this little too small kind of notion to his players on the court. And that's when he kind of switched out a lot of our players. And then Dub G actually got some time to Wendy Gabriel. I kind of wish that I saw some Bamba or Lonnie Walker minutes in there too during that end of that
Yeah, I
second
think
quarter.
I think Darvin is pretty set on his rotations right now. It looks like he's just gonna go with mostly those 9 players that are playing right now, and maybe throw in somebody else, Wendy and Gabriel. Maybe we'll see Mo Bamba in the future, but it looks like he's pretty set on his rotations. He's just trying to match minutes with AD and Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, I think he's just matching players right now. Those are the players, Bamba, Tristan, and Gabriel will come in. I mean, and Lonnie Walker, maybe in a different matchup, you still will see more minutes in the future, like Big Al said. But the time you're talking about, I think Ham was just trying to rest his guys, get ready for the next half. And I think that was smart. Even though they were small, I think they matched well, so they didn't blow a lead, right? They didn't get any closer, and so he made the right call.
Rui, he's been pretty solid. 22 minutes, 16 points, and 5 boards. So he's been solid throughout the playoffs. It was kind of funny because D'Lo in that third quarter he hit a three, and then Rui started doing that ice in the veins, but he wasn't really doing it right. So it kind of looked like he was like peeing.
I don't know. Maybe he was peeing on his defender. I don't know. He was definitely feeling himself. He deserves it. He's playing well. I mean, I remember him making his first 3 or 4 shots. He definitely was. He's been great. I mean, he's I think tied Luke Walton for at least scoring 15
points.
at least 15 points in the last 3 games of the playoffs. So yeah, I mean it's great.
Yeah, I mean he's making a name for himself, and at the best time, playoff time, right? That's where people tune in, they're engaged or locked in, ready to go. And honestly, this is where players make their money. If they can perform in the postseason, right? Guess what? You probably get paid. So teams gonna pick you up, or you get re-signed. But he has been our best bench player, best six man. Um, the points off the bench from him are always when we need it the most. So I think the Lakers, are really thankful to have him off the bench for those, when the starters rest, you bring Hachimura in, you can rely on him to make those points and do his thing. So I say he's playing very well, and I expect him next games to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think for Rui, the only issue I have is I know when he was on the Wizards, his shot was pretty flat. It looks like he worked with Phil Handy on it, and he has a little bit of arc, but I feel like overall it's still kind of flat. And not just that, but so he had about 4 or 5 kind of transition fast breaks. He made all of them except for 2 of them, and he kind of turned over because he lost his handles and the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think he was trying to do too much. He was probably feeling himself, like, hey, I need to take this coast to coast and, get a basket. But he was doing a little too much. He should have passed the ball off. I think I heard the broadcast say if he passed it, he would have got it back and probably scored. But, he
Yeah,
definitely was trying to do too much.
he was excited. You could tell.
Yeah.
He was feeling himself, excited. He thought he could take it coast to coast. And let's say when you're feeling it and you think you could do it, you suddenly make mistakes. Like I say, he's not a ball handler. He really isn't. It's not his areas of expertise. So I'm sure next time he'll realize, make the pass, he'll get it back, stuff like that. But it's just fun to watch him though. It's fun watching him try.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a show.
AD monstrous game, revenge game. He said next game I'm going to step it up. I know I didn't do too well in that second game, so this one he sure made up for it. 39 minutes, 31 points, 17 rebounds, and 2 assists. So that's pretty crazy. You guys think maybe it was because he was wearing those red kicks that kind of sent him off tonight?
I don't know what it was, but he better come with it again on Monday because he was amazing. It's what we expect from AD. Just go out there, be dominant, control the boards, control the paint, just be aggressive, and that's what I loved about AD.
Oh yeah, I mean AD did what he was supposed to do. 31 points and 17 boards. Like I kind of like that more than the points a little bit, to be honest. It shows that he's around the paint, right? Whether defensively or offensively, he's there. Because when he's not in the paint, you lose those rebounds, those second chance points. He's not as dominant. He starts falling over the three, which he did shoot a three. This game because they had the lead, so it's fine. I'm happy he shot the three. He wanted to check see if he still had it. Okay, but like when the game's close, he better be in the paint, dominating. And you know what? And last game, he did what he had to do. I think maybe LeBron talked to him. Maybe has a few words about what to do for game 3, And I expect the same thing game 4. I really do. If AD does 31-17 again, the Lakers have a great shot to win.
For sure. AD, spectacular. Just a presence in the paint. It's kind of seeming like, a little bit of the Shaq era. Just get the ball to him in the paint. He's too dominant. There's not a lot of players that can really stop him. He's just gonna go off.
If this was 0-1 Shaq would have had 60 points in the series,
Of
averaging, I
course,
think.
of course. I mean, there's nobody could really guard Shaq, but I
Well,
mean,
no one could guard AD in this team. So
yeah.
I'm expecting 30. I mean, I'm not saying it with Shaq numbers, but I'm expecting 30 points a game
Mhm.
because no one could guard Anthony Davis in
Right.
this team. It's a
Right.
mismatch every single time.
Shaq is a
Mhm.
legend. His dominance, his elbows. It's like every time he goes in, there's nobody that's going to stand in front of him because they're getting hurt.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but compared to AD, he's the biggest guy. You can just tell, and he's athletic as well. So, like I said, if it's the red shoes, he better put them on again for Monday night.
So, who do you guys have for MVP game ball honors tonight?
For sure, it's AD. I mean, he was dominant, controlled everything. He limited Jaren Jackson to 0 points in the first half. I mean, he was dominant. Everybody was shooting from outside. They didn't want to go to the paint because he was just controlling everything.
Oh yeah, I mean AD is MVP, but if you're gonna pick AD, I'll go someone else, Big Al. I'll go LeBron James. I mean, mostly for being the leader that he is. I mean, he set the tone. We mentioned this earlier in the show. He set the tone early, and when he sets the tone, everyone looks to LeBron. I know AD is supposed to be the number one guy, but who was the actual leader on that team? It's LeBron. So when he set that tone, being the leader that he is, everyone follows, including Anthony Davis, right? So to me, I'm gonna give the MVP to LeBron James just for just being a leader.
Yeah, I like both of them, but mine will have to go to AD as well. In that third quarter, there was a play where he went into the chest of Tripp, and Tripp was in foul trouble. So he basically had 3 fouls, and then he had 4 fouls after that. So I feel like because of the foul game, it kind of took Tripp out of the game, and he wasn't as effective. There was also a play where AD did that little dream shake on Tripp, and he scored over him. They asked him post game, and they're like, "Oh, so is that dream shake going to be a part of your repertoire from now on?" He's like, "Well, I've been working on that with Braun, so I don't know if you want to call it like a Braun shake or a dream shake, but AD has my
I mean, it
vote."
looked good. He did, give a little shake. To me, it looked more like a Kevin Garnett shake, but
Oh,
yeah,
good reference, Big Al.
yeah,
Actually, now
uh-huh,
that you say that,
uh-huh,
I see it now. You're
yeah,
right.
hmm
You don't forget about the big ticket, KG,
yeah,
doing it first.
hmm
What about
But yeah,
your six man? Who you guys got?
Oh, this is easy. It's
easy.
Hachimura.
Hachimura all the way. I mean, there's no other answer. There's no other answer than that. I'm sorry. I know this might, shorter, played well, but this guy's consistent, off the bench, giving you the points, giving you those hustle plays, those big threes when you
Defense,
need it,
the
his defense,
physicality.
everything. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, if Lakers had a deeper bench and you could probably switch, he could probably be a starter to be honest. But he's playing so well off the bench, and the Lakers need that out of him. They need that out of the bench, and he's the guy. Hey, he'll be six man of the game every game.
Right. For me, it would probably be Rui as well. That would probably be my gripe as well because in I think it was in that third quarter. So there was a play basically that Rui drove and on a fast break, Conchar pushed him from the back, so he was kind of stumbling a little bit, and then Rowdy grabbed his right arm and locked it up and was like pulling it down on a downward motion. So it looked like he was like trying to pull him down, but they didn't get a technical for that. But I feel like that was a dirty play. If Rui just fell down or got hurt, then they probably would have called the technical on him.
Yeah, I mean, it was a physical play, I guess, from the um, that player that grabbed him. But you know, it's a physical game. I don't know. The
It
technical
is.
on Hachimura was a little bit. I understand you can't touch the ref, and he was like going into the ref, trying to talk to that dude. But it's a physical game. I'm okay with whatever happened in this game. Everything turned out okay. But
Yeah, I agree with you, Big Al. It's a physical game. Things happen. A little chippy. People bump into each other all the time.
yeah.
Like I said, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I disagree.
that sort of physicalness. That sort of physicalness is, I think, playoff basketball. I think the slapping or punching him and LeBron in the jewels is not playoff basketball. That's
Exactly.
not needed. But so stomping maybe not also not stomping may not also be a basketball play. So
No.
I totally understand that. But
So
a
we're
little
talking about
push
that
is normal.
Draymond Green play, right? That where he
Yeah,
stomped.
of course.
But I mean,
Yeah.
if you watch the replay, it's kind of hard because he grabbed his leg. After he grabbed his leg, there wasn't really a place for him to put it down. I mean,
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did grab his leg. He did, but you're gonna stomp.
Draymond knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
He knew what he was
exactly.
doing.
I think they did it because of his previous habit. Yeah, right. Yeah, his past
for sure.
And then that's what happened. To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I disagree with you guys on the gripe because, Rui, he's Japanese. Japanese people, they're very respectful. They don't get into fights. Right. They don't like get pissed off but this play, it felt like it was dirty play. If you watched like the replay on Rowdy, it looked like he was trying to hurt him or like trying to pull him down. So I fully got Rui's back on this because he got pissed off. I got pissed off. I was like, oh, you guys are weak. So what do you guys have? What's your gripes for this game?
Well, not many gripes since it was a dominant game. The Lakers, played. They played very well. I guess if I had to say one gripe, it was the Lakers did allow them to come back towards the end. They think they got back within 10 points, 11 points, I believe, in the fourth quarter towards the end. But it was too little too late for Memphis. It was Ja having a big fourth quarter with a total of 45 points in the game. And the defense kind of went lazy, started going underneath of the screen that allowed Ja to hit those big threes. Again, it's my gripe because Lakers tend to take the foot off the pedal, let teams get back in. And I just hope the momentum doesn't carry over to game 4 Monday night, that gives the Grizzlies some type of hope, right? When they have the hope and they're energetic, they could be a problem. Lakers really have to buckle down, but it's the, hey, let's not get them back into the game. Let's not give them no hope. But Lakers tend to do that, and they did it again the fourth quarter. So that's my gripe.
Yeah, I would say it's it is allowing them back in the game a little bit. They had the game pretty much in decision, pretty much the whole game. I don't think Memphis ever took a lead in this game. But Ja was spectacular, I thought, for a guy that really hurt his hand. I was not expecting him to shoot as well as he shot it, especially in that fourth quarter. He had a bunch of 3-pointers, outside jumpers. He was still explosive. He's still attacking the rim. So Ja was amazing. I think not too many gripes in this game, just more concern about what may happen in the next game. If Ja is coming looking like that in the next game, I'd be concerned because if anybody else on that team played any bit better, this game would be a lot closer.
Yeah, I agree. But we've seen in the past one superstar could definitely win you a game, maybe a series if you're in the East in LeBron's era. Like LeBron has carried his teams into the finals with a weaker team, but it takes more than one guy to win in a series. I don't think Ja has a superstar on that team, right? There's no other like all-star in my opinion. That's
it's
second
Jaren
guy.
Jackson.
I mean, yeah, but Jaren's not.
He played well in those first 2 games, especially that game 1. If he plays well in game 4, is at least as what he was in either of those 2 games, and then he has maybe a third scorer on that team that can hit a shot, then
if you get that third scorer, it'd be a lot closer. But I say if one guy, like for instance, the Kobe Phoenix Suns, playoff. It was one guy. It was Kobe doing everything.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy? I can't remember. Smush Parker? I can't remember.
Lamar
Odom,
Luke Walton,
Luke
probably.
Walton, exactly right. So he what 3-1 series, and they ended up losing that series anyways to the Suns. Like I said, so maybe something similar at this point. Lakers, I think, have too much talent, too much experience, led by LeBron James. For one guy, which he was incredible, by the way. I'm not knocking John Morant at all. He doesn't have the help, I think, to win this series. I'm taking Lakers this series.
You can't compare Kobe to Ja, dude.
No, of course not. Of course not.
That's
It was more
no.
like one guy trying to, do it all.
Yeah, a superstar. Yeah.
Kobe,
There's no comparison to Kobe.
Kobe's 1, Jordan's 2,
Kobe
LeBron's
is
3.
One of the greatest Kobe's.
Definitely, that's something we need to work on because if Ja kind of got this momentum during that fourth quarter, I don't want him to bring it into the first half of that next game because that's going to be an issue for us. That kind of brings up, Ja or no Ja, because it seems like when Ja's playing, he's great. He's that motor, but he is not as up to par kind of outside shot. So when we kind of close down the driving lanes, he has issues with the outside shot. I mean, tonight, in the fourth quarter, he did get hot, but normally he's not a good outside shooter. He went for 45 points tonight. When he does get going, I feel like their other role players don't contribute as much. And so when Ja gets going, they don't get in a rhythm. You didn't get like a Tillman production tonight. You didn't get like your Bane production and your other role players that stepped up big those previous games.
Yeah, I mean there has to be balance for them because he is the point guard. He's the point guard on the team. He has to get other guys involved. So for him, there has to be balance of like getting other guys involved and then finding his own shot. But they're a better team with Ja. Don't get it twisted. I know they have a good record without Ja. They're still a better team with Ja because he can take them and win games on his own. And there's nobody on the Lakers that could stop him. Literally, nobody can stop him when he gets hot. So I'm a little bit concerned about the next game just because I feel like he understands where he's going to get his points. It's just about him finding guys and guys being ready to help him out.
How about Ja?
Yeah.
They're better without Ja Morant. They're better. You've seen it in game 2. I
mean, they played well without him, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, they played well without him in the season, right? Some might say even better because of the balance without him, right? Ja's gonna get his point. He's in the lineup. He's gonna get his points. He's gonna get those big plays, those big dunks, those 45-point games. But then those points, 45 points take away from the other role players, right? They don't have time to heat up, get in the rhythm, the flow of the game, So, it like I said, if Ja goes 45 points, whatever, as long as the other guys don't do it, then we're okay.
Right.
So
I think definitely if they're not all hitting on all their cylinders, then I think we'll be fine. But we'll see.
I want to get your thoughts on AR also, because it seems like after, that one big game where he's like, I am him, he's kind of fell off a little bit. But, I mean, tonight he was 35 minutes, 13 points, 6 assists, and 2 rebounds. Do you guys think that's kind of like AR shock factor? This hillbilly player, it's like hillbilly Kobe. I'm not expecting much from him. Versus, now we're in the playoffs. We're actually doing a lot of research on him, and we know how to guard him and which side he likes to go to, and kind of the way he draws contact and how to play him.
I mean, yeah, I think teams are going to scout him a little bit better. He's made attention for himself, so they're going to scout him a little better. They're going to know where he likes the ball, where he's effective, where he's not effective. And to be honest, I like, Austin. I think he's a great player. I don't think that he's a $30 million player like some people have said, because, I think he has his limitations. He's a great player, though. But, I think this is a good game for Reeves, actually. 13, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He was solid. 50%. He was effective on offense, effective on defense. So, I think it was a solid game for him.
Yeah, I think how he played was really good. You expect that out of him. I didn't feel like I wanted more out of Reeves' play. I think he played the game plan he was supposed to do, and I think Reeves does a good job. He'll flow with the offense, and he knows when to attack, when to go for those layups, get those and one plays, when to shoot those threes. I feel like he knows when it's okay for his time to try to score, right? But he is the hustle guy, in the starting
Yeah.
lineup, right? He makes those hustle plays. He'll die for the ball. He'll go in there and try to make something happen when, obviously if AD's double team or someone's LeBron, if they're out or LeBron's getting double team or whatever. I feel like he knows how to find a way to score on his own terms,
Yeah.
and they're not asking him to score that much. Just from the 13 to 18 range is fine. Anything more than that is bonus. So I think he does a good job knowing his role and staying there and knowing when to go a little above and beyond. But obviously, right now in that game 3, he didn't have to. So
Yeah.
he stayed in his role, and that's great. That's all you can ask from him.
Yeah, the defense was key on the win. They forced them to make turnovers. Other guys got involved, and it was just such a big lead that he didn't need to take it into his own hands.
What do you guys Schroeder? Because Schroeder, 24 minutes, 7 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. The previous couple games, he fell off because you don't know if he was injured, but he wasn't really contributing much. This game, he kind of started off slow, but in that third and fourth quarter, he did pick up quite a bit. He started making those shots that he used to, and I was glad to see that because in our previous games, usually whenever our energy's low, we kind of needed that boost from the bench. It's usually, Rui steps up, Austin Reeves steps up, Schroeder, big three in the corner. That's what's been keeping us going. And I'm kind of glad that I've been seeing a little bit of hints of life coming back into Schroeder now.
Yeah, Schroeder, he was solid, just a solid point guard. He was just getting guys into their spots and then picked his spots to shoot the ball. I think he struggles a little bit with athleticism and length, and maybe that is Ja a little bit. Ja is very quick, is very athletic. But I thought it was a solid night for Schroeder. He didn't have to be, spectacular. He was just solid. Everybody in the game was actually very solid. So I thought that he was just did enough tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Schroeder did good, and I think the way he played, I kind of hope it carries over to game 4 and maybe there's a little bit more, right? Because we all seen what he could do, and how he could sometimes take a game over when it matters the most. Like, hey, we need that big three from the corner. Schroeder's right there to do it. We've seen
Big
him do that.
drive.
So yeah, a big drive, a big rebound. He's there to step up when you need him. And yeah, he fell off last couple games. I feel like he's getting his rhythm in game 3, which I hope leads to a better play in game 4.
Yeah, game 4. So, I mean, my kind of points is we need to contain Ja. We can't let him go off, especially in that first half. We got to keep Vando on him. When Vando's not on him, we need Schroeder, Reeves on him, basically contain him. Limit his 3-point shots and his drives. I feel like that we need to stick to kind of our plan on trip, get him in foul trouble. It's like drive into him, take charges from him. I mean, he is a defensive player, but just sacrifice your body for the team. Take one for the team, and then keep that high energy. Keep that energy going because our crowd got us hyped for this game. That was another issue I was having. I hear all these analysts saying, "Oh, this is the first LeBron James game at home during a playoffs," but I'm pretty sure during 2022 against the Suns when they kicked us during that first round, it was 4-2. So if it was 4-2, then we had at least 3 games at home. So if we had 3 games at home with LeBron James playing in a playoff series, I'm pretty sure that he played in the playoff series and it was pretty packed. So I don't know where all these analysts are kind of getting their stats from.
Well, I think it was 2021. 2022, we didn't make the playoffs. 2021 was the last time we made the playoffs.
21,
and we were 21, 22, really? I'm not sure. 2021. I just remember that when we played the Suns, it was the bounce back year after COVID, so it wasn't a full stadium. If you remember, there was no courtside seats. They had like sectioned off a lot of the first 100 rows, right, Mario?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. By the way, Mario used to work at Staples Center, so he
Long
knows
time ago.
Yeah,
This is my first actual job. I was a red coat out there. You know the red coats. Well, now they have polos now. I noticed they changed the uniform a little bit, but if you remember the red coats with a tie, you see them on the floor or they're down the event level or patrolling around. That was my first ever job. So it was really cool. Seeing Kobe walking past me. Saying hi to him, and it was funny because that's when they had Kwame Brown, and first thing I did was look at the hands. Like, yep, they are small hands for a giant man. He is a giant man, though. Kwame Brown is a
yeah.
big person, like huge. I'm like, you're this big and you still can't get it done. Like, come on. But yeah,
Kwame. Yeah, he had
good
a
old
tough.
days. Shout out to all the
Right.
red coats out there, at Staples Center. Making sure everything goes smoothly. A lot of stuff happens down the event level. You guys don't know. It's a
Yeah.
lot of things, moving parts over there. So, like I said, there's some cool stories. Maybe we'll talk about in another show.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the 2021 playoffs. I remember the 100 sections. A lot of them were not like filled because they just wanted to separate. And I think the Lakers players bench too. They had more seats, so they weren't all like fighting for seating and stuff. So I think that's what they mean by like this is LeBron's first actual full capacity playoff
No
game.
restrictions. Just
No restrictions. Yeah.
Yep. So our next matchup, because definitely we're going to win the next game and hopefully take the game after that back in Memphis. So if we do beat them, who do you guys got? Would you prefer the Kings or would you prefer the Warriors, and why?
This is a tough one. I mean, the Kings and Warriors are great offensive teams, but I mean, you got to pick the Kings here. I don't think the Warriors are a deadly team. Steph Curry, just the names on that team. I mean, LeBron's played them so many times in the playoffs and lost to them. Only was able to overcome them once. Uh, you know, definitely gotta choose the Queens, the Sacramento Queens.
definitely want the Queens. We want that rivalry to come back. It's been so like 20 years, maybe more, a little bit more. But definitely rather pick the Kings solely on the experience factor. I think Warriors have that experience. They're still deadly. I know people say they're not as good as the previous year. When they won championship. Steph is Steph. Draymond is going to be Draymond. Get underneath everyone's skin and make those weird hustle plays. And Clay, Game 6 Clay, you come on. I mean, I know Clay hasn't put up the same numbers before, but you can knock out Clay Thompson. When he's firing on all cylinders, no one can stop him in the three-point line. So I'd rather face the Kings. The inexperience on the team will show as you go deeper into the playoffs. Obviously, I think we still have the size advantage over the Kings as well. So I would rather play the Kings. I think Lakers have a better shot.
Yeah,
Even though they're young and hungry. So yeah, Kings.
Yeah,
I'd rather play Kings.
And the Warriors have like just destroyed us in the past. LeBron on the Lakers with playing against Golden State, they just create so much misdirection. You really have to be on top of your game defensively to cover. And with the foot speed they run a lot of small ball. Of course, AD's should have a field day, but they do a really good job of, crowding him and, just misdirecting you as a defender.
Yeah,
So
the Warriors are a great team, and they're still coached very well.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the postseason, they play the matchup game. When you got deadly shooters like that, and you have Wiggins too. I forget I didn't bring up Wiggins. It's they kick Lakers butts, all the time, and I'd just rather face another team that's young and inexperienced, like the Memphis Grizzlies, right? The Lakers are playing a team that's young, not experienced, and hopefully, Lakers handle their business as they should, and they'll face another team But do I see the Kings beating the Warriors in 7 games? They just tied it 2-2. I think I would like the Kings to win, but I think the Warriors will win 7 games. They take game 7. I don't want that to happen, but I think Warriors do take game 7. But you can only hope, right?
I think on the
Yeah,
flip
that's
side, so you kind of have Steve Kerr, Mike Brown. Okay, yeah, I prefer Mike Brown over Steve Kerr because Steve Kerr, he's that chess player. He does really well in those rotations. Speed wise, I feel like Warriors is a step slower. They did have some injury history this year, and so they had some issues. Legacy wise, I would prefer the Warriors because that's another matchup that's known throughout
sexy
the
matchup.
ages.
Yeah.
Like Warriors versus Lakers, it's like everybody's gonna get hyped for it. It's gonna go crazy,
Mhm.
huge
Steph versus
national
LeBron,
broadcast.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I think we're all Team Kings the series.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope
I mean,
so. But
it is a very similar player too in De'Aaron Fox and John Morant. Very fast, athletic guards that can shoot a little bit and really score on you. So similar team. I think the Kings are a better version of the Grizzlies, but
I agree.
we'll see.
Do you have the Warriors winning that series, Big Al?
Now that you bring up the sexiness of that appeal, Vegas is really gonna like that matchup.
Oh, Vegas. They're always behind the curtain, aren't they?
Yeah, they always seem to have something right.
Right?
Yeah,
It's funny how that happens.
And you also have the Road Warrior woes. It's like their road games they always lose for some reason, so that's kind of a benefit as well.
yeah.
hmm
Well, you heard it here first on the Lake Show. We're trying to grow our channel right now, so please like and subscribe and leave comments down below. It would help us out tremendously.
All right, guys. Take care.
All
Dang.
right.
That was good. That was good. I
Right?
like that
Yeah.
one. What was the time on that?
That was 42 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
That was good. That was pretty good. Hey, man, I'm telling you, I think Warriors win that game. I mean,
Warriors.
they win that series.
Steph, he's gonna be amazing. I think he's been great, and he's just gonna keep shooting the ball. And I don't know, maybe that youth is. You're right. Maybe it's gonna play out in the game. But I don't know if you saw the game. Steph made a late game error.
Call timeout without
He called
timeout.
timeout with no timeouts left, so it almost cost him the game.
My boy Tommy Gunn Sonardo said he did it on purpose. Vegas called
Vegas
saying
called
they needed
again.
for the spread.
Even though
Oh
they're
my
stuck on the road and
goodness.
they go back to the Kings Arena, they might light the beam, but the way they've been playing on the road, so it might be possible still. We're rooting for the Kings, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the reason why the Warriors went down to they didn't they didn't think of them as a challenge. I think they weren't like, yeah, the Kings, Mike Brown, we know what they're gonna do. They weren't ready. They got hit in the mouth in the first 2 games, and it's like, oh, we have to try now. And so now they really are trying, and they tied it up. So when you tie it up now, you gotta win 2 more.
Yeah, that's the defending champions right there.
Yeah,
So I
defending
mean,
champs.
I totally forgot about that for until we
That's why I
brought
was
it
like, oh,
up.
wait,
But
what's funny? I was like, oh yeah, they're the defending champs. Like they won
yeah,
last year. Like
yeah,
they had the experience. That's why if they go 7 games, they're taking that.
yeah.
Although if we do play the Warriors, hopefully D'Lo will go off against his next team. But the way D'Lo's been
I
so inconsistent, it's been pissing me off.
Dude,
Yeah, D'Lo is. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Like he last year when he was with the Timberwolves, I know he didn't show up in the games and was not effective. I don't know if he was that way with Brooklyn in their playoff run, but I thought he did well in those playoffs. So I'm not sure what's going on with D'Lo. It might just not. I don't know. I'm not sure.
maybe it's not his matchup. Maybe it's not this series for him.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe it's
next
not a
series
series.
against the Warriors, he steps up. But I don't see no ice in his veins right now. No more like kryptonite.
Like, no. Yeah, if he keeps going one game on, one game off, one game on, and then his game ons are getting worse and worse, where he's just kind of doing the bare minimum, where it's like, yeah, I'll throw some assists, and maybe I'll hit some 3-pointers every now and then, but I'm gonna be bricking most of them in the first half. Then I'll be like, 30-something mil, nah, 20-something mil, I might even have to consider it.
Dude, I think Rory Hachimura is saving him. I mean, if we didn't have anyone off the bench, we would totally be blaming D'Lo for a lot more stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he didn't have those points off the bench that the Lakers really need, we'd be looking at D'Lo like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, yes, 17, but
there definitely would be a bigger microscope on D'Lo if we were losing this series right now. But you know, he had an okay game this one for 17 points, was plus 13. You know, he was good. Just didn't shoot it effectively. Hopefully, he shoots it better. But
yeah, I
like,
hope so.
you know, this is like D'Lo, kind of like D'Lo in the first run with the Lakers was inconsistent a little bit. He would have some good games and then like just kind of disappear sometimes. And just like you said earlier, Jeff, with the comments about him saying he's not a point guard on this team, he's a basketball player.
They're all basketball players. He's a
Yeah.
point guard. He's with the point. I don't want to hear that.
Well, he didn't actually start playing point guard until college. Apparently, he was a two guard before, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's the point guard. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go by that analogy, yeah, they're all basketball players. But guess what? You play a position. You play a point. This ain't no free flowing offense. You know, it's you're the point.
Yeah, we're looking at
You
your playoff
facilitate,
3-point
you know.
percentage. You know, you're a point guard, but you're making those assists and you ain't making the threes. So,
Hey, you're a point guard. Hey, I'll tell you what though. He had 7 assists. So if he's not shooting well, you better be dishing it well.
For sure. I mean, yeah.
Right? Because he said he's a basketball player, right? So let's say we're playing basketball and I don't have a good night shooting. You best believe I'm gonna do everything else to rebound, assist, play defense. I'm gonna focus on my other areas because I don't have it that night for shooting, I guess, but I'm definitely gonna impact the game another way. So if he calls himself don't call me a point guard, call me a basketball player, I better see some boards. I better see some more assists. I better see some
defense.
Yeah. See some defense then.
Yeah. Crowd the player, you know, force them. Yeah.
Exactly. Because if you're gonna just say I'm a basketball player, then you better do other basketball things.
I did see better defense from him. I saw him recover on what's that shooter's name on the other team? Luke Kennard. I saw him I saw him chase him down a couple times. So I saw better effort from D'Lo. So, you know, hopefully he keeps it up, and we'll see.
All right. Do you think AD though is gonna do another 30?
Are you worried about his foot speed, like him blowing past you? In other words, we would put him on Thompson and not Curry or the other players.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, but it's just getting out there, you know, at least putting a hand to a face or something.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously played well. Good defense.
What if Jeannie Buss starts penny pitching again? You know, it's like goes to Rob and be like, "Hey, you know,
oh my God,
we did the bald Mamba wrong, Captain America, and sorry, we can only pick 2 out of 3 this time. So who are you kicking to the curb? Austin Reeves, Rui, or D'Lo?"
We're keeping Rui. We're keeping
Hachimura.
That's it. I think he's made his case already. We're keeping Hachimura. All right. Do I keep Reeves or D'Lo? I think D'Lo's ceiling's higher than Reeves.
Yeah.
But then you got to think about, do I want more consistent play or do I want inconsistent play? Even though the ceiling may be higher for one, I might want consistent play throughout, even though it's not as high.
It's tough because you know
what do I do?
D'Lo for the season might be better, but like right now the playoffs, Reeves has been better, and then like
he's consistent.
D'Lo, yeah, because he's more consistent.
Here's the thing: you want someone consistent or not? It's basically what you're saying.
I think the other part is trade value. Who are you gonna have more trade value for?
The savior.
The savior, maybe.
I am him.
Yeah,
I am him. He wants some water.
Can you imagine if they picked D'Lo over Reeves though? Like, dude, the blowback, how much hate Jeannie Buss would get. It's like, oh, you
I can see it happening though. I can see it happening. Because D'Lo brings in more fans in a way, a little bit more than Reeves does. I can see that happening.
If they only have to bring back 2, there's going to be blowouts somehow. They're going to be like, you let Hachimura go? He was the only playoff performer.
I think if they let Hachimura go, it's way more of it, like
more blowback?
Blowback, way more.
If you let... I think we're still recording.
It's all good. Let it roll. Let it roll. I'm still talking about this. if they let Hachimura run and go somewhere else, that's a bad move. That's a mistake, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
it's like, what is the front office doing?
I don't think
Right?
the fans will take it well, whoever they, let go.
But
It's
Lakers
just-
have made mistakes before, even bringing guys
Yeah.
in and letting guys go. The front office they make moves and they also make dumb moves too.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. But
So
yeah.
far,
All right,
Rob
Laker
has
fam.
been
We will
positive
see
for
you guys
this.
next game.
All right.